Emotional intelligence and control are defining traits of a high-value man. They separate those who react impulsively from those who respond with thoughtfulness and wisdom. A high-value man does not let emotions control him. Instead, he understands them, processes them, and directs them in a way that benefits his life and the people around him. One of the key aspects of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. A high-value man is deeply in tune with his emotions. He doesn't suppress them, nor does he allow them to dictate his behavior. Instead, he acknowledges his feelings, understands their roots, and manages them effectively. He recognizes that anger, frustration, or sadness are natural human emotions, but they should never lead to rash decisions or destructive behavior. Rather than lashing out or allowing negativity to consume him, he steps back, assesses the situation, and responds in a way that aligns with his values and long-term goals. Equally important is self-regulation. A high-value man does not allow temporary emotions to create permanent damage. He has the discipline to pause before reacting, understanding that emotional outbursts can destroy relationships, credibility, and opportunity. He remains composed under pressure, whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or unexpected challenges. His ability to stay calm and collected commands respect from those around him. People naturally gravitate towards individuals who provide stability, and a man who can navigate difficulties without losing control earns the admiration of both peers and leaders. Another crucial aspect is empathy, the ability to understand and relate to the emotions of others. A high-value man is not just emotionally intelligent for himself. He extends this understanding to those around him. He listens actively, recognizes different perspectives, and approaches conflicts with a sense of fairness and patience. He does not dismiss the emotions of others or respond with indifference. Instead, he balances logic with compassion, ensuring that his interactions are meaningful and constructive. This ability to connect on an emotional level strengthens his relationships, builds trust, and makes him a natural leader in any environment. Emotional resilience is also a defining characteristic. Life will always present challenges, failures, heartbreaks, losses, and disappointments. A high-value man does not crumble under adversity. He sees setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than as reasons to feel defeated. He understands that emotions such as sadness and frustration are temporary, and he channels them into motivation rather than allowing them to hold him back. He doesn't let criticism break his confidence or allow rejection to define his worth. Instead, he learns, adapts, and moves forward with an even stronger mindset. Lastly, a high-value man understands the power of emotional control in communication. He never allows his emotions to cloud his words or decisions. He knows that speaking from a place of anger or fear often leads to regret. Instead, he expresses himself clearly, calmly, and assertively, ensuring that his message is received with respect rather than hostility. His ability to maintain composure in difficult conversations gives him an edge in both personal and professional life. Mastering emotional intelligence and control is not about suppressing emotions. It is about understanding and directing them in ways that create strength, stability, and success. Leadership and influence are defining qualities of a high-value man. He does not need to demand respect. His presence, actions, and mindset naturally command it. True leadership is not about authority or control. It is about inspiring others, setting a strong example, and making a meaningful impact on those around him. A high-value man leads by example, not just by words, and his influence extends beyond his immediate circle. One of the key traits of a great leader is accountability. A high-value man takes full responsibility for his actions, decisions, and outcomes. He does not blame others or make excuses when things go wrong. Instead, he acknowledges mistakes, learns from them, and takes corrective action. This level of self-accountability earns the respect of those around him, as people admire individuals who own their failures as much as their successes. When he leads, he does so with integrity, ensuring that his actions align with his words. Another defining characteristic is vision. A high-value man does not move through life aspirations. He has clear goals, aspirations, and a purpose that drives him. He is not afraid to think big, and his vision inspires others to do the same. He understands that people are drawn to those who have direction, and by pursuing his goals with passion and persistence, he naturally influences those around him to strive for greater things. His energy and determination are contagious, and he lifts others simply by staying focused on his mission. A true leader also possesses emotional intelligence, allowing him to connect with and understand people. He is a great listener who values the perspectives of others. He does not impose his will through force or intimidation, but through respect and understanding. His ability to recognize what motivates people enables him to bring out the best in them, whether in friendships, relationships, or professional settings. He does not manipulate, he empowers. He encourages growth, pushes people to step outside their comfort zones, and creates an environment where others feel valued and inspired to improve. One of the most powerful aspects of leadership is courage. A high-value man does not shy away from difficult situations. He is willing to make tough decisions, take risks, and stand by his convictions, even when others doubt him. He does not seek approval or validation before taking action. He trusts his judgment and moves forward with confidence. He is not afraid to challenge the status quo, question outdated beliefs, or push against limitations. His ability to take decisive action makes him a natural leader, someone others look to for guidance and reassurance in uncertain situations. Finally, a high-value man understands that influence is built over time through consistency. He does not seek quick wins or superficial recognition. Instead, he builds credibility by showing up every day with discipline, strength, and reliability. People respect and follow those they trust, and trust is earned through repeated actions, not empty promises. His influence is not forced. It is a byproduct of his unwavering commitment to excellence, his ability to uplift others, and his relentless pursuit of personal growth. Self-respect and boundaries are the foundation of a high-value man's character. They define how he carries himself, how he allows others to treat him, and the standards he upholds in every aspect of his life. Without self-respect, a man becomes vulnerable to manipulation, disrespect, and a life dictated by external validation rather than internal fulfillment. A high-value man understands that the way he treats himself sets the tone for how the world treats him. At the core of self-respect is an unshakable understanding of one's worth. A high-value man does not seek approval from others to feel valuable. He does not need constant validation from friends, family, or society to recognize his importance. He knows that his value is not determined by external success, status, or material wealth, but by his principles, actions, and personal growth. Because of this, he refuses to compromise his values for temporary acceptance or short-term gain. He does not lower his standards to fit in, nor does he allow others to dictate what he should think, feel, or pursue. A high-value man also sets clear and firm boundaries. He knows that boundaries are not about pushing people away, but about defining what is acceptable in his life. He does not tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or toxic behavior from anyone, whether in personal relationships, friendships, or professional settings. If someone crosses a line, he does not hesitate to address it directly and assertively. He does not entertain people who drain his energy or undermine his confidence. He understands that saying no is not selfish. It is necessary for self-preservation and mental well-being. A man with strong boundaries is also selective with his time and energy. He does not overextend himself for people who do not appreciate his efforts. He values reciprocity in relationships and does not chase those who show indifference. He recognizes that true connections are built on mutual respect, not one-sided efforts. Because he respects himself, he expects the same from those around him. He does not settle for friendships or romantic relationships where he is not valued. Another critical aspect of self-respect is the ability to walk away. A high-value man is never afraid to remove himself from situations that do not align with his standards. Whether it is a disrespectful relationship, a job that undervalues him, or a toxic environment, he does not stay out of fear, guilt, or obligation. He knows that the longer he tolerates what diminishes him, the further he moves from his true potential. Walking away is not a sign of weakness, it is a declaration of self-worth. Ultimately, self-respect and boundaries are what separate a high-value man from those who allow life to dictate their path. They give him the confidence to stand alone if necessary, the strength to demand better, and the wisdom to invest in people and opportunities that align with his highest standards. By respecting himself first, he sets the precedent for how others will treat him, ensuring that he moves through life with dignity, purpose, and unwavering self-assurance. Mastery of discipline and self-improvement is what separates a high-value man from the average. It is the foundation of his success, his confidence, and his ability to lead a fulfilling life. A man who lacks discipline drifts through life, controlled by fleeting emotions, distractions, and external influences. In contrast, a disciplined man sets clear goals, develops strong habits, and takes consistent action towards self-betterment, regardless of circumstances. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when motivation is absent. A high-value man understands that motivation is temporary, but discipline is what creates lasting results. He does not wait until he feels like working out, reading, or improving his skills. He does it because he knows the long-term benefits. Whether it is his physical health, mental sharpness, financial growth, or emotional strength, he remains committed to improvement even on the days when progress feels slow or difficult. A man who has mastered discipline does not make excuses. He does not blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for his situation. Instead, he takes full responsibility for his growth and actions. If he fails, he analyzes what went wrong, adjusts his approach, and continues moving forward. He does not waste time complaining or feeling sorry for himself because he understands that success and progress are built through resilience and persistence. Self-improvement is not just about achieving goals, it is a lifelong commitment to becoming better every day. A high-value man embraces a mindset of continuous learning. He seeks knowledge, reads books, listens to insightful conversations, and surrounds himself with people who challenge him to think and grow. He understands that stagnation is the enemy of greatness, and he actively looks for ways to expand his skills, knowledge, and wisdom. He also takes care of his physical and mental well-being. He exercises not just to look good, but because he values strength, endurance, and overall health. He eats well, prioritizes rest, and avoids habits that weaken him. He sharpens his mind through reflection, meditation, or journaling, ensuring that he remains focused and emotionally balanced. He is not easily swayed by distractions because he has trained himself to stay disciplined in the face of temptation. Mastering discipline and self-improvement also means being selective about time and energy. A high-value man does not waste his days on mindless entertainment, toxic relationships, or pursuits that do not contribute to his long-term growth. He is intentional with his actions and decisions, making sure that everything he does aligns with his goals and values. Ultimately, discipline and self-improvement shape a man into someone who commands respect, not because he demands it, but because he has built himself into someone worth respecting. He does not seek shortcuts or easy wins. He trusts the process, embraces the grind, and understands that true success comes from consistent effort over time. Through discipline, he creates the life he envisions, and through self-improvement, he ensures that he is always evolving into the best version of himself.